Hello! Welcome to this week's library meeting. We'll be going over all kinds of fun stuff. If you are new here, you don't know who we are Alexandria RPG, and we are a non-profit role-playing game library. Our first big event is coming up this weekend. Emerald City Comic Con. Huge event. In the past, had gotten over 70 to 100,000 people each year. Last year was pretty sizable, back on track to being where it had been for the past years, and we are excited to come out and game. We've got a bunch of GMs lined up, and you can come just chat with me about books and games and all kinds of fun stuff. So, what do we have today? We don't have any donations. We have some in the mail. They'll probably come during Emerald City. That's the way my luck is. Tomorrow and Wednesday are going to be bonkers days. I meant to do it this weekend, but I've been going 100 miles an hour. Needed some downtime. So tomorrow evening and Wednesday evening, after... Oh, I'm going to have to do it before the game. I'm going to have to do almost all of it tomorrow because we've got a game on Wednesday. I may actually push that back. But anyways, we got to get prepped for this, the last minute prep for Emerald City Comic Con. Just got to make sure I have all the right stuff to go out. We've got a bunch of new stuff that hasn't been stickered, so I'm going to try to get some of that out with us, and that way a couple volunteers can help catalog and sticker books. Because everything that's been cataloged in the library has a sticker here, and we can scan a little QR code, so it tells us Power Rangers RPG, tells us who is by, tells it's in our library, and then a QR code, we scan it and we can check it out to somebody, so we can actually track stuff in the library. So, what do we have for news? If you're in the U.S., you can get exclusive box set for the Avatar Legends Tabletop RPG from April 12th. Other stores in the U.S. From April 12th, other stores will outside the U.S. will stock it. So, set contains a rulebook, dice, map, combat cards, pre-gen characters, and 2 adventures. the Pirates of Crimson Sails and Burning Fuse. The former is set during the era of Aang, and the latter is set during the era of Korra. These adventures will be available digitally at a later date. It also includes a discount code for Demiplane, the online tools suite. So that's kind of cool. So you will be able to hit up. I also love that Target has an ad for the box set, the starter set. So start hitting up your local game store. If you're interested in Avatar and you didn't get in on the Kickstarter, I think everybody got in on that. But hit up your local game store, see if they can pick up the Avatar Legends starter set. Let's see. This I feel is old news, but it was just posted recently. So, new way to sell DM's Guild content on Roll20. So when Roll20 and One Bookshelf merged, they announced that they were going to start pushing more stuff to be compatible in Roll20, which is awesome. And with that, they are now Roll20 plus DM's Guild plus Adventures League. So Roll20 is a popular virtual tabletop platform, and they've been awesome, and they've given us 5 accounts with a bunch of stuff on them. Virtual tabletop platforming for Dungeons & Dragons for tons of games, not just D&D. Recently announced that creators could sell their D&D content on the DM's Guild site specifically for the Roll20 virtual tabletop system. Players who purchase modules, art packs, token marker sets, content packages, or add-ons will be able to unlock them for immediate online play in Roll20 without any additional setup work. While this is great news for Roll20 players, it's worth noting that Adventures League adventures have been available on the DM's Guild for Fantasy Grounds, another popular virtual tabletop, since 2016. So if you use Fantasy Grounds, you've been able to use your DM's Guild stuff on Fantasy Grounds. Well, now DM's Guild is owned by One Bookshelf, which also is the parent company. I don't know if it's really a parent company because the CEO of Roll20 became the new CEO over everything. But anyways, I hope they keep their Fantasy Ground stuff going. Hope they keep that relationship, even though they have their own virtual tabletop in-house. Because that's just good for everybody. Let's see. DM's Guild currently offers 3 Adventures League adventures for Roll20, and they're all listed. You can get them in a bundle, or you can get the Pharmacist Wanted, Unfrozen, and the Horror in Darkfall. So, it's good news. I love WizKid stuff. I want to know how big this is. So this is a pre-order for D&D replicas of the Realm Mimic Chest life-sized figure. It's $375. But they don't have, I don't think they have on here the actual, life-size Mimic is 20 inches tall. Whoa! Made from soft foam that's painted to show off each eye and tooth. Okay, cool. It's made of soft foam. That's interesting. That's kind of neat. So 20 inches high. I mean, that's sizable. So I mean, we're looking at a good sized thing. That's kind of cool. Let's see. Tabletop News aims to be the go-to spot for tabletop RPG fans, recruits powerful cast of hosts. So, I'll read a little bit of this. Two Kings Entertainment is launching the first of its kind news show for tabletop games, whether they're card games, board games, or tabletop role-playing games. So, GameSpot. Your title is, your headline is incorrect. It says aims to be the go-to spot for tabletop RPG fans. No, it aims to be the go-to spot for tabletop games, not just RPGs, cards, and it's... I hate it when they do stuff like that. Tabletop News will be a weekly news show that will report on upcoming product releases, community events, and announcements for independent tabletop gaming creators. The show also aims to interview celebrities and industry faces in the tabletop gaming space. For each episode will be about 12 minutes long and feature a collection of fast and fact-driven 60-second micro stories and larger in-depth deep dives. So I'm excited about this, kind of, because it could be really cool, but it also, anytime you dump loads of money into something, you could end up with something that just becomes a big mess. I'm gonna hold out because I want them to do well, and we need more places that are actually putting out the information than is pulling information from various sites is it's a lot of work. And I mean, we kind of are, especially in the tabletop world, we're really stunted in what we have available. So this is a market outlook for 2023 and the forecast to 2028 with top countries data. So this is really nerdy. I don't really want to go over it. This is something I probably, could spend an hour or so going over. But this is some good information on what could be a healthy industry. But we all know that it doesn't take much to make the industry unhealthy. Let's see, December, January, what was going on. This is a neat article that was done back on Valentine's Day about it's more than just a virtual tabletop, but it's called Roll, and I haven't really played with it, but I'm intrigued by any stuff like this. So it's something I want to play with. I saw it when they first announced it a while back. One place to play them all. Roll supports any tabletop RPG you want to play. So looks like they got 5e, Modifius, Infinite Black, Massive, I don't recognize that logo, and Magpie. Need a GM for a new game? So there's a decent amount of stuff. Hey, Fallout 3. Okay, let's get into some Kickstarter stuff. So this has 6 hours to go. They're past their goal, and Escape from Undergarden. This is a 5e 5th level adventure. And we've looked at this in past, so I'm happy to see that because it looks well laid out. Looks like they're done, and looks like they're ready to go, which I'm always happy to see because you have no clue how many of these I see before they get to Kickstarter or GameFound or wherever, and aren't done. So, £12, $15 gets you the PDF, $24 gets you a soft cover, $36 gets you a JVC Perry 5e bundle. So that's the PDFs of the Escape from Undergarden and their other two previous games. $60 gets you all of them in print. That's not bad. Let's see. Jet Carnage. This has 13 hours to go. They have just made it. This is out of Italy. There's a lot of games coming out of Italy lately. A lot of RPGs. Jet Carnage. I'm very intrigued by this. Never played an RPG in your life? Start with this one. So it's just a deck of cards and a little booklet. So a 30-page manual, starter character sheet, and then your demo deck. And that's in the quick start. So €10 gets you the digital versions of everything, in English or in Italian. €20, $22 gets you it all in print, in English, or I think you can also select Italian. Let's see, 32 is the deluxe version. 60 or 76 gets you the deluxe edition Raiders Party, which gets you all the digital stuff, character sheets, bookmarks, stuff like that, GM screen. So, and you can go up and get your own hero done in the game, which is kind of cool. It looks cute. If we had more funds, we would definitely back more things. But we don't have a lot of funds. Let's see. Chiron's Doom, Mysterious Monument, an ill-fated expedition, a zine quest tabletop RPG for 1 to 3 players. They're past their goal. They've got 14 hours to go. It's coming out of the UK. Let's see the story. There's a monument in the edge of civilization. Drink some water. Enigmatic object known as Chiron's Doom. Nobody knows who made it or why. It has defied all previous attempts at understanding. Countless expeditions have torn themselves apart trying to learn its secrets. There's no reason to believe your expedition will be any different. But here you are, 3 explorers, driven to try where all others have failed. How much are you willing to sacrifice to solve the mystery of Chiron's Doom? By Nick Bate. So, $8 gets you the PDF. Let's see. And a community copy? Oh, that's kind of cool. So, $15 gets you the physical zine, the physical monuments prints, a PDF, and a community copy. $24 gets you the physical zine signed and annotated. Wonder what the annotations are. The zine and in PDF and a community copy. $24 annotated zine plus let's see, another, so 2 different. Oh, these are all gone. Oh, so you can't get the annotated signed versions. Dun dun dun. Wonder what the annotations were. We'll never know. Yes, I know. I need to drink some more. Is that a Pikachu in the middle of a bunch of water glasses? That's kind of scary. So, I didn't know this one was up until today. And it's killing it. 348,000. So, Cities Without Number, a cyberpunk tabletop RPG from the creator of Stars Without Number. We get a lot of fans for Stars Without Number through the library. So, didn't even know this was a thing. And if you've not played, because there's a couple other games that I think he's got 2 other Without Numbers. So, yeah, there's just tons of. I mean, the art that he has up here is really stunning. They've gone out of their way to get some wonderful artists. So $25 gets you a DRM free PDF, which is nice. Let's see, $40 gets you at cost print on demand code plus the PDF. $80 gets you the PDF, the backer credit, and offset print book. And they've got a operator, and then international operator, so U.S. and international. But yeah, Stars Without Number is actually really cool. Has a lot of people. Worlds Without Number, that's the one I was trying to think of. Yeah. So Stars Without Number, Worlds Without Number. Now we have Cities Without Number. So same system, new. Now we're doing Cyberpunk. See, Rising Star. This one made me giggle. 64 hours to go. Out of Edinburgh, UK, or some of us call it Scotland. That's part of the UK. First created, so Eleanor Holm, 7 backed. So this is part of Zine Quest. The original game-based PDF available there. Nice. Version 1 is free. Our base game is available for free digitally on itch.io. Love itch. Always suggest people to continually go and check stuff out on itch. So £3 gets you the PDF, a digital doodle from highly trained doodle professionals. $12 gets you the zine and all lower tiers. So you get a digital doodle. $15 gets you the zine and a pin. $116 gets you the handmade edition, a scrappy Dark Horse underdog version of the physical zine, Rising and a Rising Star pin. Wish I had the cash. And all the early birds are gone. So it is a GM-less sports film tabletop role-playing game. We wrote and released the original version of Rising Star last year. So let's see. Players write, star, and direct their own thrilling clash of a rising star against a formidable rival. The players create and take on the roles of the star and their supporting cast. The players also have turns filling in the role of the heel, the rival star. The game is split into phases during which the players take in turns to frame scenes telling the story of the rising star and their support network. Sounds fun. Cyberpunk games are kind of in vogue right now. Thank you, Cyberpunk 2077 and Cyberpunk Red. Daggers, Ditches, and Dangerous Things. They have met their goal. They've got 57 hours to go. It is a nice small RPG based on D6s and fantasy. So, $6 gets you the 3D digital edition. The $12 gets you the 3D print edition. $24 gets you the print edition and college hex crawl. So that's another game that they've released. And $60 gets you 3D and the sealed library spending spree. So you get a physical copy of Dungeons, Daggers, and Dangerous Things, a PDF download of 3D and other formats if released, the college hex crawl print and adventure, and filthy Great British Pound credit on sealed library store at fulfillment. So they have their own store. So, neat looking little game and not horribly expensive. Let's see. 6 days to go. So this is going to end while we're at Emerald City Comic Con. I want to see that up higher. So this is made by Chris Shepperson. So Shep is he's been interviewed by the library. He was the lead designer on Slay Industries. I believe his day job is working for Modifius. Made Gaia Complex. So really really good game developer. And apparently Kendo Koala was a kind of a throwaway little thing between him and a couple other creators, and he's turned it into a zine game, and the street fighting squirrel, the Wing Chun wombat. I can't wait to play this. And yes, we as the library backed it. I know Chris would probably mail us a couple of copies, but this everything about this makes me smile. So these are my two favorite: Ninjutsu Narwhal and the Jujitsu Jaguar. And he's made it simple. $4 gets you the PDF, $8 gets you the physical. So they're so close to their next, but he's got 6 days left on this. I really want to see more behind it, just because Chris is a really good game designer. This one, I don't know what to think of this one. So 13 days ago, Pet Rescue, a one-shot RPG. Play as demigod pets using your abilities from both your divine and mundane heritage to save your missing owner. Ronin Rabbit. Maybe Ronin Rabbit will be on the inside of Kendo Koala. Let's see. Plot: on a small Welsh island, a woman with a great many exotic pets has gone missing. Unbeknownst to the other inhabitants of the island, she is a demigod. So are her pets. You play the pets, and you try to find what happened to her. Along the way, you could interact with other animals, semi-divine and normal, explore the island, including its farms, stone circles, and town, and confuse the humans who are not used to talking animals. It is a low to no combat scenario in which the players are expected to puzzle out what has happened to and use their unique abilities to solve it. Violence is an option, but not the only one. Yeah, you get to play Crypto, the Superdog, looking for Superman. $4 gets you the digital version. $12 gets you the physical edition and the digital version. And $60, you get to do a self-insert. I like that. Fee, I say, the D6 comedy fantasy parody RPG. The RPG that asks, what if Mel Brooks had directed Lord of the Rings? I would like that. I really would. Fee, I say. So, Cinderman, first created 283 back. So, editor by trade and RPG writer by hobby. Have written and released material for Mutant Crawl Classics, Dungeon Crawl Classics, Crypto World, Mutant Future, and Fiasco. Nice. I laughed so hard I got a headache playing this game. Actual player quote. However, it could have been caused by the undiagnosed medical condition. $7 gets you the PDF and an at-cost print-on-demand coupon. That's awesome. Like, one option. So, how do you play? Fee, I say, is based on classic D6 RPG system for newer gamers. You roll some six-siders and try to beat a difficulty number based on the difficulty of the task at hand. Roll high, huzzah! Roll low, fee, I say. Looks adorable. And, you know, can F. Fulfillment is through drive-through RPG. Let's see. Accessibility Gaming Quarterly. So, got about 10 days to go. So this is their 4th year doing this. And this is kind of, you know, if this isn't your wheelhouse, this isn't going to be for everybody. But this is a nice little tool where people can collaborate of how to add some more accessibility in their games. And this can be great for people that run games at events or run games at schools or their local store. They're the person that does the pickup game for groups or plays with new players. So just stuff like this can give GMs tools to try to get more people playing. And that's what we should all strive to do. We should strive to get as many people playing as possible. And if you're a new player out there, never get frustrated because the GM you're playing with, especially your first one, isn't necessarily like, oh, I don't like them. I don't like how they do this. There's other GMs out there. Go find a group or GM that you want to game with. Because role-playing can be fun no matter who you are. Just getting the right GM for you. Finding the right group to play with. Because I've seen people that are with the right GM, they're just with the wrong group. And it's funny because they get frustrated and the GM's like, hey, I have another game like on Fridays. Would you like to come to that one? And you're like, oh, I'll give it a try. And then all of a sudden, hey, this is a lot of fun. It's like, yeah, this is the group that's more your style. So. From our friends over at Goodman Games, the Dungeon Denizens. 500 monsters for 5e and Dungeon Crawl Classic. We have backed this, so this is going to be super cool. I mean, it's a big book. So you get the Dungeon Crawl Classic version, the 5e version. There's the snakeskin version of each, or reptile skinned, and super duper cools. Yeah, and tons and tons of monsters. It's going to be a big, fat, thick book. And you can get a cool dust jacket for it. All kinds of stuff. Whew. I'm excited. No, Goodman Games. Actually, their first annual is only yay thick. It's a fairly small book. It's only slightly bigger than most of the D&D books out there. The 5e version is 500 pages, and the ECCC version is like nearly 600 pages. They're big, but it's awesome. Let's see, Harn World 40th anniversary hardcover. So, Harn World has been around for ages, and I mean, been around for 40 years, which in RPG terms is ages, because I mean we're not even to the 50th anniversary of the first release of D&D. So if you're around for 40 years and the oldest RPG is not 50 yet, been around for a while. So Columbia Games, $69 gets you the hardback, and that's actually it's 256 pages. It's multiple books and a physical map. There's a ton of stuff, and I would suggest people, go out and support some of these smaller companies that are, especially the ones that are putting out some of this awesome legacy gaming, because legacy gaming is amazing. Script Wizards, 15 days to go, so we'll be able to cover this after Emerald City. But this one I think is awesome because some of it is in ASCII. You actually have to look really close at the art and to see that the art is not. It is not standard art. It is. Ooh, pardon me. That art is actually super highly detailed ASCII art, which is really cool. So, and this is for either Karn, OSR, or Old School Essentials, which is really cool. So we've seen several of these social media apps pop up. So this is VoxLinks, a local tabletop game finding social media app. I want one of these to work. And they just don't. And I don't know what, like, nobody's figured out what the linchpin in getting it to just pop open and, get everybody on board. But they're trying. So this is another one that's out and about trying to do it. Hats off to them for trying. And I don't know. I just don't know how you do it. So, fingers crossed for them. Let's see. On Indiegogo, Hybrids, Double Feature, RPG, and TPB? What's a TPB? Oh, Trade Paperback. So, Hybrids, Double Feature. Highly anticipated core rules manual for the RPGs here, along with Trash Day and Killing Field Trade Paperback. There's been a lot of comics in stuff coming out on Indiegogo. I've met a bunch of creators of all kinds of different backgrounds that just don't like working for Marvel and DC anymore, just because they end up giving up so much of their creative freedom that they're coming to places like Indiegogo where they can just, hey, here's what I got for sale. You want to buy? Great. Try it first. $1. I have no clue what that means. But looks like they're fairly well good to go. It looks like they've got their trade paperback done, and their rules good to go. Man, my new mouse has an extra touchy scroll wheel. Cyberpunk. They were looking for 10,000 euros. They're at 14,000 euros. Almost 15,000 euros. They got 16 days left. So this is their Cyberpunk game. SIBIR. Cyber. Welcome to our crowdfunding action for the English language version of Cyberpunk Tabletop RPG, set in the dystopian future of Slavic punk universe, which is cool. The main goal of the action is to fund together with you, our backers, in Tabletop Cyberpunk RPG. But it is also a one-of-a-kind opportunity to acquire, at a discount price pre-order, the Slavic Punk Oldtimer video game set in the same universe, scheduled to launch in Q2 this year. Oh, that's kind of cool. Very neat. Let's see. The Pathfinder bundle was so huge. I mean, they've sold 110,000, but it's been extended. So this ends in... Oh, where's it go? I always lose the... it ends in 2 days, 16 hours. So, it got extended for a couple more days, or a few more days, which is awesome. I mean, that's a ton of stuff. $25 for 28 items. Just tons of Pathfinder stuff. And they've sold almost 110,000 copies of this bundle. That's bonkers. Also is Fallout RPG and 3D miniatures. So you get the Caught in the Crossfire Fallout campaign, and then a bunch of STL files. Then you get Wasteland Warfare Wave 1 AI card deck, the Wasteland Warfare expansion book, some more 3D models, the Unexpected Shepherd, Machine Frequency, the Wastewater Warfare Getting Acclimated PDF, and the Wastewater Warfare Rules of Play. So, tons of cool stuff, and $18 gets you a bunch of miniatures and a bunch of rules to play the Fallout RPG, which the library will be starting a Fallout RPG soon. Then, what do we have for Bundle of Holding? So, Worlds of 2D20, so $15 gets you Dishonored Infinite. Hang on. There's an hour left on this. Dishonored Infinity RPG, John Carter of Mars, and the system, the SRD. Then, if you go up to $40, you get all of that plus Dune, Achtung Cthulhu, plus the player and GM guides, Star Trek Adventures, Fallout Starter Set, Dishonored Game Master Toolkit, Phantoms of Mars, and Adventures in the Human Sphere. If you want to get into the 2D20 stuff, here's a cheap way to do it. Advanced Fighting Fantasy, 21 days. So, $8 gets you Advanced Fighting Fantasy Volume 2nd Edition. Hero's Companion. The Sorcery Spellbook. Out of the Pit. Then if you go up to $18.46, so $18.50, you get all of the stuff in the orange. The Warlock of Firetop Mountain. Titan. Beyond the Pit. Black Sand, Crowns of Kings, and the Sorcery Campaign. So, I don't know this system, so I can't say anything bad or good about it, but for $8 you can get in on the basic stuff and learn it. So, more fantasy fighting. So, more books for that. And $10 gets you Rough Guide to the Pit, Demons of Doom, the Titan Herbal, 3 AFF Adventures. Then if you go up to $20.22, you get all that other stuff, plus the Combat Companion, Encyclopedia Arcanica, Treasures, City of Chaos, Return to the Pit, and Travels in Aron. Let's see. Godbound. $6 gets you, so this is an old campaign that they brought back. $6 gets you Godbound Deluxe Edition and 10 Buried Blades. And if you go up to $17.33, you get the first $2, plus Lexicon of the Throne, Ancilia, The Broken Towers, 16 Sorrows, and the Storms of Yzora. Arcane of the Ancients. $17.95 gets you Arcane of the Ancients. Beneath the Monolith, Beasts of Flesh and Steel, Where the Machines Wait, and Jade Colossus. That's over in 14 days. Believing this is all 5e compatible. Then, from our friends over at Free League, so $13 gets you the One Ring starter set, the Lore Screen, the Rivendell Compendium, and the Strider Mode. Strider Mode is solitaire rules for the One Ring game. Great stuff. A lot of wide variety. Many of them are fantasy. I mean, in the worlds of 2D20, you've got a ton of stuff. So many things to choose from. A lot of cool Kickstarter campaigns, some great deals on Humble Bundle right now, and some interesting news. And then one I didn't pull up, I'll just talk about real quick before I close out for the day. The Kyle Brinks that's been doing all the interviews on behalf of D&D said that they weren't going to bring back Dark Sun because it was problematic, and it is a dark world, and some people want to play in those dark worlds. So my advice to Wizards at this point is, don't worry about the problematic nature or whatever. If you don't want to produce that anymore, contact the people that did make it originally, because they don't work for Wizards Coast. And I guarantee they would love to be able to take that work that they spent years on and port it over to another system. I guarantee you they would. Or let them release it as a third party. I bet you there's plenty of companies out there that would be all over that if you allowed the original creators to come out with a third party version of Dark Sun. See, you could increase the hobby without putting out product that you don't necessarily like. And that's kind of the problem, is WotC's trying to play everything safe. And sometimes the best places to play aren't aren't in the safest areas. Sometimes people want to play in those dark areas. Hey, how you doing there, Fraser Valley? Yeah, I would buy Dark Sun. Dark Sun was such an interesting world because it was so dark and it was low magic. So if you got a magic item, that was a huge deal. I love playing in high magic, in fantasy stuff. High magic where magic's everywhere, and you're like, look, I got a +1 sword. Well, that's nice. I use those as toothpicks. And I love playing in the low magic worlds that if you get a +1 sword... and Halfling Cannibals is actually one of the things they called out as problematic. They're like, like, and then didn't really explain why. I was like, why is that a problem? Like, these halflings, like, catastrophic events happened on Dark Sun. And you have some halflings that have resorted to cannibalism, eating humanoid species, and it's a way for them to survive. That's the entire world. You know, they're like, oh, there's slavery in it. Yeah, and you as heroes are trying to end that slavery, trying to save people, trying to, you know, prevent people from entering into the halfling cannibals. Halfling cannibals. I thought the halfling cannibals was such a unique thing because halflings were always the, you know, really good cooks and jovial. And it's like, well, they're still really good cooks. Not the jovial people you want to meet in the middle of the woods. Always loved that. I just thought it was such a neat thing. And Dark Sun gets has a lot of love, but it hasn't got any in 5th edition. And again, I think if WotC doesn't want to put anything out for it, let it go back to the original creators and let them do something in the third-party market. You could see some awesome stuff. Yeah, and I have read through the 4th edition stuff. Yeah, the 4th edition stuff, and again, I will say this, some people think I'm nuts. 4th edition was not a bad system. I just don't think it was a good D&D. But there was some really good stuff released for it, like the Dark Sun stuff. And that wasn't put out that long ago. So, if they were good with putting it out, you know, 8-9 years ago, you can put it out today. So, well, thank you all for tuning in. Like I said, a lot of interesting stuff. Excited to see the Avatar box set coming out, so we can start seeing people get a hold of that and start playing. And that's from Magpie Games, so that should be available on what was that new one we looked at, the Roll. So yeah, Roll has stuff from Magpie, so maybe they'll be doing something for that on their little system here. Well, thank you all for tuning in, and until next time, the library is now closed, and remember, Emerald City Comic Con this weekend, it is going to be a hoot. We're going to have a blast, and whoo, I am not ready. It's the beginning of insane con season, so library is now closed.